Hi everyone, it's Christy. Welcome back. We're going to work on another altered playing card for the full deck challenge. So I'm doing the Two of Hearts today, and I gathered up just a few sample things that I think I might want to use. This is a pack of stamps I got at the Dollar Tree, so inexpensive little decoration, and I thought I would see what we could do with it. So let me grab my glue pad here, just an old catalog that I'm using as a backing. We're gonna, because this card surface is very slippery, we're gonna glue a piece of tissue paper, just normal gift wrap type tissue paper onto it. You could also use a napkin, anything like that, even toilet paper would work. It's just gluing something down to the surface that is gonna give it some texture so that you can glue other things to it. Glue stick, there it is. Alright, so I'm just gonna smear some glue all over the surface of the card, making sure to get out to the edges, because the edges will need to adhere well. Okay. And just using this glass bottle as a brayer to get all the air bubbles pressed out of it and to make sure the glue adheres well. Okay, that looks good. Set that aside for a moment, and now I need the... Here, I can cap up my glue before it dries out, especially since that's a brand new tube. Okay, now if you saw me do this before, you'll know what I'm about to do. This sanding block is a great way to take off the tissue. You can cut it with scissors, but doing it with a sanding block gives you a feathery, soft edge. And as you can see, it just like takes almost nothing. Only place you have to work a little bit is on the corners. Just work the corners a little bit to get the tissue to let go. Okay. Alrighty. See, it's just all dangling on the backside. And just like that. Almost there. One little spot. And that just let go. Whoop. And if you were running your fingers along it, it's just got a feathery soft edge. I love it. And just giving it one last go around just to make sure there's any little bits. Alright. Now, let's grab my gluey surface again. I think I want to put this, I want to use this, it's kind of a brick, pink and brick background. I think I want to use this, make kind of a pink brick wall. So I'm going to glue up the back of this. I keep knocking things over because I can't see around my camera. I get stuff in the blind spot where my camera blocks my view, and then I end up knocking it over instead of grabbing it. So that's why I appear to be very clumsy. Let me just tear that off. Nice thing about using a magazine or catalog for a glue background is you can just tear it off once it gets gluey. I think that's okay. All right. Now, you can still, again, you can trim it with scissors or use the sanding block. I think I'll use the scissors for this part since it's kind of got a lot of... These are my Fiskars non-stick scissors. so you can cut glue and tape and all kinds of stuff and your scissors won't get all gummed up. So because this is fresh glue I'm using, you know, it hasn't even really dried yet, I can safely use my scissors because they have a no-stick surface. I don't know if it's Teflon, but it's something like that where it's got a no-stick. It's got a black no-stick surface on it. So, all right, that looks good. Throw away my scraps. All right, so far we've got a card with some tissue paper over it, and I glued down a piece of scrapbook paper. I think I want to ink around it a little bit. Before we get too involved in layering other things, I want to go ahead and put some brown ink around it. I'm just using my dauber. Gonna just go all the way around the edge. And you don't have to do this step. Some people like to use the ink on the edge and some don't. There. See how that gives it a little extra pop? Okay. Now I think what I want to do next, this is some green colored cheesecloth. I got a whole bag of this at Hobby Lobby, and in a way I kind of regret it because it just like lasts forever, and I'm gonna get tired of green before I ever get it even used up. So I'm just gonna cut off a hunk of that, and I'm not even really sure here what I'm doing. I'm making this up as I go. Okay, just kind of maybe don't want that much. Okay. Next I'm going to get out my stickers, because I think I want to put this butterfly on the cheesecloth is what I'm thinking. Either the cheesecloth or the leafy ribbon. So I'm going to start with the cheesecloth and see if I can hold that up and see if I like that. Ooh, I could go with a couple small butterflies on there. I've got several colors of butterflies, and so I'm trying to decide what looks good on the pink background. Because if I put a pink butterfly on it, is it going to be too pink, or do I want something with more contrast? Ooh, I kind of like this black butterfly. Although the green one is lovely. Oh my, so much decisions. Although I think the green butterfly on the green gauze is too much. Cheesecloth, I mean. It's like gauze. If you don't have cheesecloth, use gauze. If you don't have gauze, use cheesecloth. Oh boy. Well, let me try something else here. Where's my end of this? There it is. See, what other thing I thought of was that this vine would look like it was crawling up the bricks. So I'm just experimenting as I go because, like I said, I didn't have this completely planned out, but I want you to see the thought process that goes into it. Actually, I kind of like that better, I think. Which butterfly, though? kind of liking this purple one, I think. What do you think? I know when I watch other people's craft videos, I'm in the background going, oh, choose this one, choose this one. This is a contender. Let me glue down a piece of this and then I'll decide. First thing, some things have to happen in a certain order, right? So we have to do this first anyway. So let me snip off a chunk of that. And there I go, knocking things over again. And for this, I could go at diagonal. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'm going to use Fabrifix glue because I'm gluing a piece of fabric to the card, so it's a good use for the Fabrifix glue. And my glue has kind of formed a solid mass at the tip, which happens sometimes. You don't use a lot, but I had it turned upside down because I was trying to keep, this bottle's almost empty, so I was trying to keep it to the, poured to one end. Alright, come on, glue. And I kind of wonder if maybe my tip is... Oh, now it's coming. I just had to drain. Okay. Sorry, I'm off camera, but I'm trying to see what I'm doing. You know what? This one, I have a backup. I have one bottle that I'm trying to use up and another one that I just opened. So let me go to the one I just opened because it'll come out easier. Sometimes they get thick. Oh yeah, there we go. They get thick when you get toward the bottom and it just takes longer. There's still usable glue in it, but it just takes a little bit more patience. And for the sake of the video, we'll just skip the patience part. Okay. Gonna get a little bit on a couple of the leaves just to help tack it down. Now I got cheesecloth stuck to me. Okay. So now we have the vine over the brick wall. I like that. I like that a lot. A little bit of glue overage here. Not bad. Alright. So now, final decisions here. I also feel like it's going to need one more element. Maybe I grabbed some odds and ends. Like maybe sometimes just a number, although there is a number up here. Or a postage stamp or something. We'll play with that in a second. Let me get the... Okay, we're gonna go with... We keep coming back to this big purple one, so I think we're gonna do that. Okay, so this has a three-dimensional gluey thing on here. Because it's been in the packaging, I'm gonna kind of separate the... It's a two-layer... It's a dimensional, so... But I want to kind of separate the butterfly wings. I call them leaves. The butterfly wings a little bit, just so that it gives a little bit more lift, you know, more separation in between them. Did well on the top. Let me see if I can separate the bottom out a little bit. See, there's another dimensional sticker in between the layers just to give it some lift. And I'm trying to do this now a little bit because once I stick it down, I don't want to be pulling on it. Okay, placement. I could have him flying at an angle, centered, off-centered, off-centered, off the top. Off the top I kind of like. Angled. Okay, I haven't stuck it down yet. I'm just holding up some ideas here. I think if I do this, I have a place down here I can put a postage stamp or something. So I'm gonna go with this right there. Notice I've got the wings hanging off the edge on both the top and the side. Just pressing that down. If it doesn't seem, I haven't used these yet, so we'll see if that seems, oh yeah, that's got a good grab. If it didn't seem like it had a very strong label, the sticky part, the adhesive, we could just use a little spot of glue on it. But it seems like a good strong adhesive, so I'm happy with that. And now to decide on maybe something in the corner. I have some little postage stamps. I had grabbed a number because I thought that might make it look like a, what do they call those identification cards? I'm drawing a blank. But there's already a number on there, so maybe I'll go with a stamp. Or what do I have nearby? What else? Let me tear this down a little bit. Just to get it down to just the stamp. And just hand tearing the envelope away. I do think the pink brings out the pink in the butterfly. Oh, hey, look at that. Still have room for something. Maybe, let me grab, I've got boxes of doodads around. Let me just give a quick look. Oh yeah, my Bible verse. I almost, getting so carried away, I almost forgot I was going to put a Bible verse on each of these cards in this series. Well, if in doubt, take the one on top. Okay, so I kind of like that. Let me ink around this Bible verse. I think I'm just going to ink it in brown just to make it stand out, and I already used brown around the outside of the card, so it'll match. All right. And I'm going to ink in brown around the stamp and see if that makes it. I'm not 100% sure on the stamp, but I think I'm going to use it. I think I just have to kind of start seeing elements in place. Okay, I'm pretty sure this Bible verse is going to go, so I'm going to glue that down with just a glue stick. It's Matthew 22:39. A second, equally important, love your neighbor as yourself. Second greatest commandment. First one is love God, second one is love other people. Easier said than done though, right? All right. I would use my little brayer, but the butterfly is kind of in the way, so I'm not going to use that. So I've got this so far, and I'm thinking if I just tuck the stamp in That would probably do it. Maybe down a little lower. Maybe split the difference. Yeah. I think that'll do. Okay. I glued the whole back of the stamp, but it's gonna hang over, so sticky. It'll dry. Alright, let me cap up my glue stick. Alright, I think we're gonna call that one finished. You know what? I am going to... One more thing. Almost finished, but I just feel like it needs... Let me pick a color here. I'm going to put a little bit of... I think green will work. Just a little bit of liquid pearls in... Let me see. Sage is the color. Alright, see if I can do this up here for the camera. Just little daubs. There. Yeah. Maybe a little one up here. And if you've never used these are liquid paints. They're kind of dry dimensional, so it'll be like a little raised bump when it dries. Kind of got a pearlescent, they call it liquid pearls because it's kind of got a pearlescent quality to it. And I think that just kind of filled in that little white space just enough that I like that. Has a little bit more eye appeal. Maybe another one right down in here, just kind of connecting some dots a little bit. All right. There we go. I'm going to call that good and set that aside to dry. When you use the liquid pearls, you will need to let them dry for, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me. Love you. God bless you. And I'll see you in a future video. Bye.